Scenario 3 has us back at the Common Assessment modules again. This group has spent extensive time in training and in developing common assessments. They have a working definition of common assessment which guides their work. The assessments are administered to students at specific intervals throughout the school year, and the percentages are applied to student grades for the academic term. Staff have also begun to use the results as a part of their educator evaluation, showing student growth throughout the term. So what's lacking? There hasn't been an intentional use of assessment data to evaluate how assessments are going within the disciplines. All science teachers, for instance, do give the same assessments for biology, but they haven't discussed the data together as a team to determine how students are performing across the discipline on the assessment. Common assessments are a good way to get information about classroom instruction and student performance. When disciplines meet together, they can identify trends. If standards seem to be missed frequently by students, several questions can arise. What strategies did we use to teach this standard? How much time did we dedicate to this concept? Are the assessment questions fair or reflective of what we actually taught? As we review the topics listed on the website, what becomes the focus for this group? Which resources match first steps in moving them forward? Begin your plan, as previously mentioned, using the implementation guide for each module. You may launch your meetings with the following questions. As we review all biology assessments, for example, what is the data showing us? How are students performing in the standards? Are all students stumbling on the same item? Are all students getting most of the questions correct? Is that a problem? A recommended starting point for this group with common assessment modules might include Module 21, Assessment Administration, Scoring and Reporting. This module will address what is critical as assessments are administered and data collected. Your team will need to address standard setting for their assessments and reporting data from those assessments. Therefore, modules 22 through 24 will instruct your group on how to use that data. If it's been a while since these groups reviewed their assessment items, guide their work backward through these modules. They will need to review their items, which are modules 8 through 11. And the next thing to consider, does your team have scoring guides and rubrics to accompany their assessments? Have the assessments been reviewed for bias, reliability, or validity? Your group may have addressed all these as they launched into assessment development, but if not, these are good modules to review as they increase their understanding of assessment development, administration, and reporting. As recommended throughout, it is advisable to have your team review each of the modules in this series.